So, hello, Shifa, and thank you for agreeing to talk and record this interview today. Can we start with you just please confirm your name and who you work for?
My name is Shifa Mulumba. I work for Statistics for Sustainable Development. We support projects with their research designs. We guide them with the analysis and all the way to their report writing.
Okay. And I'm Richard Coe, and I also work for Statistics for Sustainable Development. We're recording this interview in order to provide an example for training researchers in analysis of qualitative data. The recording and transcripts from it will be used as part of training materials that will be published and shared by Statistics for Sustainable Development. The recording and transcripts will be accompanied by a statement that says they are only to be used for training purposes. The information contained may not be used for any other purposes. The information does not represent the views of either the interviewer, that's me, or the respondent, that's you, Shifa. You and I, the interviewer, will be named as the originators of the material when it's shared, and any subsequent use of the recording or transcripts will acknowledge the source of the material. So on that basis, do you agree to continue?
Yes, I agree to continue with the interview.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, so Shifa, you've been working with the program, which is now CRFS, and before that was CCRP for some years. Can you just say briefly how long you've been working for the program and what your role in the program is?
So I have been working with the program for about 10 years. And my role has mostly been on the supportive side of the projects, where we help them, we guide them with their research design. We go through the process of data collection, help them with the tools they use to collect data with the teams they work with, who are mostly farmers and farmer group. Then we support them again with the analysis, report writing. Yeah, I think mostly that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Now, as well as doing your work, I believe you have a family farm. Is that right?
Yes, we do have a family farm.
Where is that?
So our farm is in Bujuko, about 20 kilometers from the city center.
Okay. So you and your husband together manage that farm, do they?
Yes, we manage it together. Okay, initially it was mostly him, because despite the fact that I had an agriculture background, I didn't have so much, I think, hands-on practice. So it was a bit hard in the beginning. So yes, initially it was mostly him until he got to that point and he's like, okay, it's high time you woke up.
Okay, very nice. Okay, now the CRFS project is all about agroecology. Do you think being involved in the agroecology project has changed things that you do on your farm?
Yes, I think working with the project who are doing lots of work in agroecology has changed some of the things we do at the farm.
Like what things have you changed?
Okay, now like before, for example, weeding the banana plantation, we would mostly use hose, forgetting like the roots are mostly on the surface. So we would end up cutting the roots, and even when you apply the manure, you would not get what you expect to get. And before we would use a lot of the chemicals, despite the fact that we also have the animals at the farm. But now,
So you were buying chemicals before?
Yes, we're using
Yeah, what sort of
chemicals
chemicals did you buy it for?
like the ones for weeding to, okay, why we would mostly do that, okay, what is this? So we would use chemicals in weeding and then also to fight the pests, like, like sometimes you find those small insects on the plants.
Yeah.
So we'd mostly use chemicals for that. And then, okay, we had someone actually who would send up some very nice fertilizers from Germany. So, excuse me. So, okay, mostly it was, I think, easier then to use those than using what is here, the bulkiness and all that. But that
Yeah.
has really changed drastically.
So would you say it's changed the way you think about the farming and what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I think it has really changed the farming and what I'm trying to do, because I see so many, like the farmers, when you go to visit them, they have very small plots and excuse me, they have small plots and doing so much on the same small plots. And then you have a big chunk of land and you're putting so much more than what you're getting out of. Yes, so I
How
tried
do you mean
to,
you're putting more than you're getting out of?
no, like now you're using fertilizers, they are expensive, you're importing some of them, so there are costs involved. And
So is it
yet you have the manure that is available.
so
You have the manure that is
was
available. And then also like for the bananas, the stems, I think before I would not pay so much attention, like after the harvest, how you take care of that stem, like, to use it to cover. So mostly would again buy material for mulching elsewhere, like the grass. What is it called? So this grass grows from near swamps. So you pay someone, they go cut it and then they lay that in. But then you also have this that excuse me. Yeah. So you have this that you're also not using. So you end up paying more for other things outside when there are other things you could use easily and in real
so
time.
so is the cost saving the main reason for changing what you did?
I think it's the cost saving, but as well as the return. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about this.
And that's not
And the
a problem.
returns.
Right. What about the environmental effects of using chemicals?
The environmental effect of using chemicals. I think when we stopped using chemicals, I think I had not really thought much about the effect. I think it was mostly to do with, maybe the effect was in, but not really at the forefront, I
Right.
should say.
As a farmer, what do you believe is your responsibility?
So as a farmer, I think now my responsibility, I think, is to have clean food for, especially my family. So we started this farm. Initially, it was mostly for family, like reducing, maybe like, being able to get food to feed the family. It wasn't like the commercial bits were not pronounced. So like all the food would eat was our food. So at the moment, and it has really continued, like it's now we do bits of commercial, but we've not really got to that point of really pushing it so hard. So we eat
Yeah.
some and then sell some. Yeah. So now, like, as long as we have clean food, so since it's mostly for us, then also for other people who get that food.
So do you think as a farmer you have any responsibility for anything other than food production?
Sorry, I did not get that.
As a farmer, do you have any responsibility for anything other than food production?
I think as a farmer, I also have the responsibility of ensuring, like, okay, as I earlier would use chemicals, but then the soils were consistent, like the productivity was consistently going down. So you wonder, like, 20 years from today, what will be coming out? So there is a possibility, maybe.
Sorry, can I, why do you think what happens in 20 years is important?
Oh, it's important because I think maybe from a parent's point of view, like most of the things we do, we are doing them, I think, in preparation of the young generation. Like, okay, I wouldn't want it to go to waste, like after I'm not there. So if it's not productive, it definitely will probably be useless to anyone.
Right,
Like,
right.
maybe
So you,
that's it. It's more like carrying the legacy. Excuse me. So,
so you're saying you're managing this partly as parents who are thinking about your children and what they're going to inherit and so on.
okay, so maybe not as parents thinking about children, but then as people thinking about the other people who come in after we've not gone, maybe not necessarily as our children, but then you would wish these people to also value that so that your
Okay.
hard work doesn't just come to an end.
Right, right. So it's what we call stewardship. It means caring about the land so that the land remains in good condition, even if it's not just for you.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
So do you and your husband always agree on this?
No, I don't think I would like to go into that.
No, just tell me an example of where he disagrees with you on it.
No, I think we can skip that.
Yeah, but there must happen sometimes, isn't it? That you two disagree. You might even fight over it.
I think we can skip that.
Oh, okay,
I don't want to talk about that.
okay. Oh, all right. So now I'm thinking now. You're saying that you have made some changes in your farm. How has what are the messages from CRFS that have led to you making those changes?
I think most of the changes have happened when I've really gone to the farmers, like more on like on site, and you see how farmers approach some of these things, like they are using biofertilizers, and then, like, they don't even have some of the components that we do. Some of them probably don't even know how to use Google to read more about this, but then you see them trying and trying and trying and then coming up with things that are working. So you really feel like, okay, I think I better wake up, like I'm lagging behind. So
Yeah.
I think most of the change has come from like being on the farm, and then you see all these innovations happening.
So the things you're learning from seminars and workshops and things like that not useful.
No, actually, they are useful, but then the other one is practical. Like you're seeing them using ash. So it's different from someone talking about the ash. They are
So
making the biofertilizers, and then you're seeing the biofertilizer there, and then how it's made and the different components. You're seeing them using the chilies, like I think the
So I think
observation bit, I think, makes you keep the message. I think like the message sticks like stronger.
so you're really saying that these sorts of things that we do within the program are a bit of a waste of time because you
No, no,
really
no,
need
no,
the
no, no. I'm
practical
not saying
experience.
that. I'm
Well,
not saying
it
that.
sounds as if you're saying that because you say you have to see
No,
the practical.
no, I'm not saying that. That wasn't the implication.
Okay, all right, I understand. So, but the practical is influential as a way of learning.
Yes,
Can
because now,
we?
like, you see, I told you I had a background in agriculture for 4 years, but
Yes.
still, like, okay, I would find it hard to, for example, step in soil. I would fear those microorganisms in the soil. But then I was a student of agriculture 4 years. And then you see farmers who probably didn't even go for secondary education, and then they are doing all this. So, like, okay, like that practical bit of the visibility, like you're seeing this happening with your real eyes, I think in real time
Okay.
has, I think, that long lasting.
So it's seeing things in practice and practical experience that really reinforces anything you learn in the classroom or from reading.
Yes.
Okay. Now that's very clear. Can we just change topics and talk not about the farming, but about food? So the same question, has your engagement in the agroecology program had any influence on the way that on what your food habits, what you eat, and the food that you prepare for your family?
Okay. Okay, I think maybe this is both ways on being on the agroecological projects, but also I think it's also the world, like what is happening in the world. Everyone is calling for a change in our food habits. So somehow, like, okay, before I think it was easier, like to go in the supermarket or to go to fast foods, restaurants, like, it was so easy, like, you just pay some money and then you get everything without so much struggle. But I think now there is so much concern for health. So what we eat, like, what you eat determines everything that happens to you. So I
Can
have changed the food that I eat.
right. So
Like
what's been
even when I'm craving for certain things, like somehow I'm able to pull back because I'm thinking about the health implications of this. We are moving off sugar. I think 5 years from now, I don't think you'd have told me, like, convince me to move off sugar somehow. Like
yeah.
I had that, what they call the sweet tooth. I
Yes.
loved sugar now, but then I stay away from sugar.
Uh-huh.
And then I
So
encourage also my children, like in juice, no sugar in juice. So usually we have people complaining when they come to visit us. We don't like, yeah, there are things we've really changed, like, okay, this is it, or we've moderated.
do you see any connection now between the way you farm and the way you think about food and what you eat?
Yeah, I think there is some connection to what I eat and what I farm. Like, yeah, there are things I go into. Like, okay, I know, like on the table, we need these legumes, the proteins and all that. So somehow those are usually, I think, a common thing okay, during our meals. Fruits and vegetables are also another thing that somehow, okay, we can't take a day without having fresh fruits and vegetables. But then
Okay,
before,
Shifa,
we would probably go with the commercial, like the processed fruits. Like, you buy the packs and,
so you're eating more fresh fruit and vegetables now.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's very clear. Shifa, thank you very much for recording this interview. It's been most informative.
Thank you, Rick. It was nice talking to you.